Hi, I'm Ruli, and this is the 34th video of my Recalcitrant Warden storyline playing Dragon Age Origins, and we finally have some major plot points to recap. This is Dirk, and Dirk has just ended the werewolf curse. Okay, so with the help of the Lady of the Forest, he coerced Zevran into ending the werewolf curse and dying as a result. But since Zevran started the curse anyway, fair enough. But the important thing is that Dirk successfully recruited the Dalish elves to help fight the Darkspawn, and apparently his successes have caught someone's attention because the archdemon is ticked. But good news! Dirk finally got enough money to buy the best staff in Thedas for Morrigan, and he presented it to her in a lovely date that spiders, darkspawn, and werewolves tried and failed to prevent, so yay! And now he has to get back to the job of saving the world. On we go. Well, that was exciting. Sandal.
Enchantment?
Well, more disenchanting, but yes, some enchanting too.
Enchantment!
So should we do more spell resistance or more fire damage? Or we can throw in some electricity damage. Let's keep up with the spell resistance. Hello, Badan.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Have you heard any rumors?
There's wonderful news. Our old Eamon has been cured of his strange illness, and not only is he better, but he's also called an ability to Denerim to settle the succession. Seems he's found some unknown son of Merrick's, of all things.
No.
And he says he should be the rightful king. I just hope they finally get to fighting the Darkspawn. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Well. Where could he ever have found that? Well, let me see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Hello.
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden.
And you're sure they'll fully commit?
I would not insult them by asking. Word was given, and that is all that needs be said.
Good.
At your word, Warden.
Do you need anything?
We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom.
Well. Hello, Liliana.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
The chantry says we return to the Maker.
And that is something to take joy in, no?
What? Dirk, I don't know that Morgan liked Liliana singing to you like that. Didn't she? Well, anyway.
Oh, hello. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
I thought you might want to talk about what happened today.
It's nothing. I'm fine. I'm just thinking.
What about?
I can't get what happened out of my head. I'd been in Lothering for years, and she still thought I was plotting against her. She didn't trust me. Maybe she never did. She loved me when she could use me and control me. And now that she can't, she wants me dead. It hurts to realize that I never really knew her.
Is there anything I can do?
You're already helping so much by listening to me. I knew she was ruthless, but I didn't know how far she could go. She is self-serving, cruel. She uses people, then discards them. But that's how she survives in the life she leads. What if she's right? What if we're the same? I should just have stayed in the chantry.
You said the Maker wanted you to leave.
I could have been wrong about the Maker. I know you doubt me sometimes. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just tell myself he's there to console myself, to know there's someone watching out for me, to know I'm not alone.
You're not alone, Liliana.
But I was. I was alone and desperate when I fled to Ferelden. I went to the only place I knew would take me. I forgot my life as a bard while I was in the cloister. I felt safe. I didn't have to watch my back all the time. That's what made Marjolaine the person she is, don't you see? It ruined her. It will ruin me too. Even now, I feel some regret at not ending her life in order to protect my own.
The important thing is you didn't act on it.
What we're doing, what we've done, hunted men down, killed them. Part of me loves it. It invigorates me, and this scares me. I feel myself slipping.
Liliana, Marjolaine chose who she became, and so can you.
How can you be so sure?
You left the Chantry to help others. That means something.
Do you really think so? Hearing you say that gives me comfort. I would like to be alone for now. I have many things to consider. Thank you for listening to me.
Hey. Hello, Wynne.
What's on your mind?
Wondering, why did the spirit choose to help you?
I have always had an affinity for the spirits of the Fade. As a child, I never feared my dreams because I knew they were there.
What about demons?
I could sense the demons, too, and their presence frightened me. It was the kindly spirits of the Fade that took the fear from me. I've always been able to feel the spirits, even if I never saw them. And as I nurtured my talent in the circle, I became more sensitive. I began to notice every time I was in the Fade, whether it was in a dream or in magical practice, that I was being watched.
Do spirits watch people like that?
I suppose they must. It is these benevolent spirits that create our dream worlds in the Fade. Sometimes I would see it, a glowing, nebulous form. Most times I would just feel its presence, gentle and comforting, but somehow alien. I think it is a spirit of faith. They have never been seen before, and perhaps I am wrong. But something tells me I'm not. It always felt like the same entity. This one spirit was curious about me, and was guarding me, for want of a better word.
So it protected you?
There were times when I was in the Fade that it seemed to stretch forth to shield me, keeping me safe. And I think it gave me strength in my most terrible battles, Ostagar being one of them.
So this spirit of faith is your personal protector?
I don't know why I was chosen. Perhaps it knew that there was something more that lay in store for me. I like to think that I was given a rare chance, and I'm going to make the best of the time so generously given to me.
Well, I'm glad you think traveling with me is worthy of your time.
I will not lie motionless in a bed with coverlets up to my chin, waiting for death to claim me. That is not the death for me. And so I will fight alongside the Grey Warden, and help prepare him for the task that is yet before him. So you had better listen to me, because I swear, if I should fall before the end and you don't seem to be doing things properly, I'll get up again to give you a good finger wagging.
No, anything but that. Well, I'll hold you to that.
You know, I think you'll be all right, even without my help.
But Wynne,
What's on your mind?
are you sure? I'm just wondering, is there something we can do to cure you?
Cure me? What, am I sick now?
You're a little bit dead.
Even you know that you cannot cure the dead. And I'm not the only one dying. You are too. I'm just more efficient about it. Ah, child, your concern is heartwarming. But death comes to everyone, and it is not something to fear.
I'd really rather be alive.
People fear not death, but having life taken from them. Many waste the life given to them, occupying themselves with things that do not matter. When the end comes, they say they did not have time enough to spend with loved ones, to fulfill dreams, to go on adventures they only talked about. But why should you fear death if you are happy with the life you have led? If you can look back on everything and say, yes, I am content. It is enough.
And are you content, Wynne?
I think I've led a good life. A full life, and I, for one, am not afraid of death, whatever it may bring. They say that when you die, your spirit travels through the Fade and returns to the Maker. And after that, we'll see, won't we? What's on your mind?
Just... I hope I'm not asking too much, but... do you have any regrets at all?
I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else.
Tell me. Might help you.
Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority.
Yes. I could see how that could be trouble.
What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home, time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult.
That sounds actually very unlike you, Wynne.
Oh, age and wisdom have mellowed me. I was quite different back then. Much more unforgiving. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him.
What happened to Anarin?
Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down.
Phylactery?
The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him.
I don't see that it's your fault, Wynne.
I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves.
Wynne, I think it's time to forgive yourself.
The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student.
Well, that is a bright side.
And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret.
Wonder. Hello, Zevran.
What say you?
Care to answer some questions?
By all means.
What's your opinion of the Dalish?
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
Zevran, that's horrible.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
Zevran, I'm so sorry.
That's very kind of you to say, but it is not necessary. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
You can say that again.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
Has there been no joy in your life at all?
Oh, there has been plenty. To tell the truth, it is because I expected nothing more. Still, even I eventually thought that it would be better for me if I ran off to join the famous Dalish when one of their clans drew near Antiva City. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Huh. Gloves, eh? Well, Zevran, they're probably not the same, but I did pick these up back at the Dalish camp.
Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for?
The Dalish gloves. Thought they might be like your mother's.
Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. The leather was less thick, and it had more embroidery, but these are very close, and quite handsome.
You're welcome.
Do I seem surprised? Perhaps I am. Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
Yes, I have. I did. What boots are you wearing? Who gave you those boots? Oh, never mind. Let's take a look at those gloves. Zevran, you're not wearing those. The ancient elven gloves are better. I keep them for keepsake, enjoy, but... Not even giving them to anyone else, good heavens. Alright. Hello, Alistair.
Something on your mind?
Had another dream about the Archdemon.
Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was aware of us, whatever you want to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think?
Yes, I think you're probably right.
You know how some people want to be right all the time? Me, not so much. I guess one thing is certain, at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight. Something on your mind?
Some questions.
Of course.
Why have you remained a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
I thought Templars wore heavy plate mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
Ah, and you had a lot of these pillow fights, I take it.
Pillow fights? I mean, no, of course not. I meant sword fights. With rusty swords, dripping with acid. The kind that puts hair on your chest. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
Well, then make up something more exciting.
You know, I like the way you think. You're all right. If you're really curious, then I'll tell you. The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be better. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
I believe that. I think I understand.
Using the abilities I have came after years of education and discipline that was difficult to achieve, if rewarding. The sword training and religious doctrine all came later. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful for when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
The alienage in Denerim. My family's there.
You must miss them a great deal. Duncan and the Grey Wardens are the closest I ever got to that kind of family. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good, either way.
They can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same. Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Supposed to be talking. This is a real thing to do. Excuse me, Sten. Oh, hello.
What is your wish, Kadan?
Kadan. Wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
What did you mean about the fiends in Saharan?
Ours wear the faces of men.
Well, that's cryptic.
Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this.
So they're traitors?
They are Tal-Vashoth. They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be. Nothing can fill them.
What do they want?
I don't know. There was a village in the mountains of Saharan. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows. There would always be one person waiting, a foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something.
Right, let's go.
As you wish.
Well, Ruli, would you like to discuss death, your tragic childhood, or some horrifying betrayal? Nope. I'm feeling fine. Had a happy childhood, little to no trauma. Good. Oh, don't want to forget you, do I, Rathbone? Hello, boy. Hello, boy. Think I'm going to take you out. Would you like to see a forest? How would you like to see a forest? All right. Who's a good boy? Clear up some space.
You are wise to invest in the effectiveness of your followers.
Right, and I may eventually come up with something for the rest of you someday. Morgan? I'd like to ask you something.
So, full of questions, are you?
It's just... I'm about ready to go after Flemeth, and... You're not going to be angry at me about this afterwards, are you? Do you really want your mother dead?
I can see why you might ask this, despite knowing the fate that she has in store for me. The truth is that no, under normal circumstances, of course, I would not turn against my mother so. For all that she is not the picture of maternal love, I mean her no ill will. But Flemeth herself taught me long ago, once you know your enemy, strike quickly and without mercy. Were our positions reversed, she would no doubt do exactly the same.
Yes, well, good. I agree with you. It is necessary.
Good. Then please, end this waiting and deal with her as soon as you can. This is driving me nearly mad.
Yes. Well, that is what comes next. Morgan. To discuss something personal.
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
How did you get to be so wonderful?
Ah, such a romantic, I see.
Only with you. Alright, Dirk, you got a plan? I do. Sadly, before we can go right off to Flemeth, we do need some...
Indeed.
Health poultices.
Yes.
Yes.
Really rather not be attacked right now. What do you think? Managed it. Oh, well, good. All right. Morgan. Thank you. Zevran. Thank you. Morgan. Well, here goes. Suppose you can't come from now on. See you on the other side.
Blast and damnation!
Oh, you know why.
Yes.
Braska.
Indeed.
Right. All right. Only one thing left to do then. Oh, it's too bad you have to go all the way to that end of the map before you can get back. Oh no, I know. But definitely getting that armor from Wade before I do anything else.
All men are the work of our nation.
Oh, I'm forgetting which side it's on. There we go. He'll be so glad to see me. Hello, Heron.
We're closed. Oh, it's you.
The Drake scale armor is done.
Oh,
And it's,
right.
well, decent. Few things I'm rather proud of. and it didn't take as long as I feared. Odd.
You'd better be very proud, Wade. We can't afford any more flights of fancy.
I feel good, actually. I wouldn't mind working on Lord such-and-such's armor today.
We'll see how long this lasts. Here's your armor. Now please leave.
Oh, right. All right. Let's see it. Alright, let's see how they compare. Alright, they're basically the same, but you get extra fire resistance and a dexterity. Alright, how about the boots? Pretty good. Oh wow, you get 50% fire resistance. Oh, give me that. And extra dexterity. Oh, you are going to be so dexterous. Right, Liliana. Guess what? You can have my old armor. I'm a little curious to see how it looks on her. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad. Well, better than the other stuff she had. Yeah, agreed. By the way, Aaron, would you like to buy this old armor?
Welcome. Oh, it's you. Please leave. And if you have any more scales, you can shove them. Yeah, just leave.
Behold, I have arrived.
Oh, let's see. Hello.
Hi,
I was
Dirk.
just going to see if I could sell more drake scales to Heron, but he won't have them. He told me where I could put them.
Well, yes. That's, yes.
Oh, yes. So, you gonna tell her what you're gonna do now, Dirk? Yes. We are going...
You heard about the revolt in Oswin?
Got put down by the Regent, I heard.
That's what he'd like you to think, I bet.
Well, I wouldn't talk about it too loudly. Look, someone's listening.
Oh, they noticed phones. Oh, right. Yes, so I am actually planning to kill Flemeth.
Ah, premeditated murder. Okay. I'm here for
I
this.
am protecting the woman I love from a dark plot against her very soul.
Okay, Dirk, you're killing your mother-in-law. I mean, what man wouldn't like to kill his mother-in-law, right? I mean, except my husband, of course. He would never kill his mother-in-law because she's delightful, but most men...
Ay, you are cynical, aren't you?
Oh, I overstated it a bit, but it's funnier that way.
Right, I just have to keep reminding myself she is a very powerful spirit who happens to be in the form of a frail old woman who would potentially be my mother-in-law if things had worked out differently. Yeah.
Ironically, she may more likely be your posthumous mother-in-law if you kill her than if you don't. Which is
well, according to what Morgan says, here we are. I was going to say, according to what Morgan says, I might not be able to completely kill her. She might still exist in spirit form, so, well, there's that. Here goes. Hello.
And so you return. Lovely Morrigan has at last found someone willing to dance to her tune. Such enchanting music she plays, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agreed.
We know your little secret, Flemeth.
Which one, I wonder? What has Morrigan told you? What little plan has she hatched this time?
She knows how you extend your lifespan.
That she does. The question is, do you? Ah, but it is an old, old story. One that Flemeth has heard before. and even told. Let us skip right to the ending, shall we? Do you slay the old wretch as Morrigan bids, or does the tale take a different turn?
Look, just say what you've got to say.
Morrigan wishes my grimoire? Take it as a trophy. Tell her I am slain.
You think she'll believe that?
We believe what we want to believe. It's all we ever do.
And what happens to you?
I go. Perhaps I surprise Morrigan one day. Or I may simply watch. It would be interesting to see what she does with her freedom. Enlightening, even. Would you give an old woman that?
No. You will not surprise Morrigan any day.
Shame. What will it be, then?
You die.
It is a dance poor Flemeth knows well. Let us see if she remembers the steps. Come. She will earn what she takes. I'd have it no other way.
Oh, right. Of course. Of course. Where are you going to go? Oh, and I can't even stealth on her. Oh.
Defend yourself!
Ouch.
Dirk, you're upside down. Stand up. There we go.
Like that. Right. Oh, alright. Up we get. Oh, where's she going? Well, if she will keep her back to me. Ow. Alright, seriously though. Where did my dual sword go? There we go. That's not what I said to do, was it? Well, they're reassigning these things on me.
They always do that when you actually need them.
Do they? Come on. You know, it's not actually hurting all that much, considering. Right. Yeah, your armor's working out for you. Oh, there you go, you got her! Well, not exactly excited about getting a hero shot this time.
Good job, Dirk. You did it. You killed her.
She turned into a dragon. I don't suppose there's anything I could get off of her. Hey, you got a key. Good. I mean, I do want more loot. I won't say I don't, but I'm pretty okay with not getting a lot of loot that time. So how you doing?
Does it feel as
right
satisfying
honestly
as you hoped?
Robes of possession. And the grimoire. Good. You know, I'm glad, actually. I'm glad she turned into a dragon because, frankly, slaying a dragon for the woman you love is a lot better than
killing a poor old
hacking apart an old woman.
Mm-hmm.
That is not cool. So yes, I'm grateful for that. Ay, ay. Look at that. What if Morgan will ever learn to turn into a dragon? Dirk, you could ride on her back! Oh, no. That would be so awesome. Oh, please, yes. Yeah, I can do it all in Redcliffe, I think. And what is this? Well, that's embarrassing. Right, you two. Why am I shaking? Oh, something's this way. Oh, it's a shriek. I'll do it. Anyone around? Oh, Alfred. Okay, Dirk, I thought I saw something slithering over here. Could you just check for me what might be slithering? I see no slithering things. Okay. Okay, just checking. Dirk is doing his whole loot first and then talk plan. You know, I think it's very rare. Venom. I forgot to throw any bombs at Plymouth. Why? See, this is why my inventory is so full. I never use the things I have. Yes. Oh, that. Another way. Tell you what, I got to this battle, all I saw with the darkspawn. I didn't see all the poor elves they were fighting. Oh, did you just set a barricade on fire? Apparently. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Goes that far, though. Alright. Let me talk to him looking in his face. Hello. Oh, I mean... Hello.
Our tribe fights for you, Warden.
Good, glad to hear it. You see, you could have talked to him like a nice, polite person and then gone for all the loot. I could have, apparently. You never know, though. Never know. Alright, any more loot? Don't see any. Can't go this way, can I? Oh, Dirk, you're too tall. You can't fit under that. Very funny. Ay. So what's the plan? We've got a lot of things to collect, I think, from various people. Mages Collective, the Blackstone Irregulars.
Money! Hurry for money.
Right. I need to think about what to buy next, honestly.
House in the countryside? A horse, maybe? I mean, where are all the horses?
You know
I'd like
what?
to know.
I would love a horse.
How about 4 horses, one for each of you and your companions?
How do I get down? Oh, I hate this place. There used
The
to be
hero
a way,
of
I'm sure
Ferelden
somebody
felled
took it
by a
down.
walkway. Curse you, walkway!
Win,
Yes, Alistair?
my shirt has a hole in it.
I see. And?
Can you mend it when we get back to camp?
Can't you mend your own clothes? Why do I have to do it?
Sometimes I pick up too much fabric and it ends up all puckered and the entire garment hangs wrong afterward. And you're, you know, grandmotherly. Grandmothers do that sort of thing, don't they? Darning socks and whatnot. You don't want me to have to fight Darkspawn in a shirt with a hole, do you? It might get bigger. I might catch cold.
Oh, all right.
No,
I'll mend your shirt the next
don't.
time we set up camp.
Oh, and while you're at it, the elbow's kind of...
Don't do it, Win.
Careful, young man, or puckered garments may be the least of your problems.
Win, I respect your right to say no. Please do the same. Okay. Okay, I'm getting seriously annoyed. I can't remember how to get
where?
back there to the Mages Collective people. Maybe it's this way. I didn't go this way yet, have I? Yes! Ah, I found it. That general store with nothing and no one in it. Hello!
The client is very pleased. Come back soon.
Thank you. Oh, Dirk, you can level up. Hang on, let me just check. Right. Get a skill this time. We're doing master coercion, so now, Dirk, you can threaten people and not just persuade. Alright, I like it. Alright, have you actually used any of your bard skills? Oh, you can do Song of Valor if you want.
Honestly, Dirk,
Not
if
that
you
need it
threatened me,
right
I would
now.
probably be afraid, so it makes sense. You're pretty terrible. Terrifying.
I did just kill a dragon. My friends and I killed a dragon. I mean, I spent a lot of that fight counting on my friends to distract the dragon.
True. True, but they did so, and you got them to do it, which is another part of your prowess.
That's true, I did, didn't I? It's not like they like Morgan much. Well, I mean, they don't like Maleficarum either, which is what she is. What Philmouth is.
You mean what she was?
Oh, I think of it, they didn't even question it. Just
that's
went along.
quite a
They said,
loyalty
"You
you've
need to go for
inspired."
it." They said, all right. It's good, it feels good. It's a little bit worrying, though, in a way. All right. To get back to dinner. Oh, it's clear across country. Suppose I shouldn't do too much before I go back to Morgan and tell her how things went. She might be worrying. It's a possibility.
Will she admit it? She won't admit it, but you know what you know.
Hello.
What can I get you, stranger?
Finished a favor for one of your interested parties. 2 of them, actually, if I'm remembering correctly. Hello.
What can I get you, stranger?
Need any help? Anything else not strictly legal? Right. Okay, still working on that. Alright, let's see. D has need of assistance again, huh? There are those who seek to impute upon my good reputation. Certain aspects of business may have required unpalatable acts. But these former associates were just as much a part of them as I was. Their supposed redemptions reek of opportunity, not conscience. Those loose tongues need heads to match. I need someone who is free to travel and knows what to do when traitors are found. The reward will be appropriately handsome. You know what? I'm really starting to dislike this D. Hey.
Is D for doesn't like to do his own dirty work?
You know what? I'm done just taking things for granted. You know what? I can find other ways to make money. I'm not so desperate anymore.
This is good.
Let's see what Kay has to say. I've seen some people just can't play fair. Make changes to benefit everyone, and all you get are glares from old men. No more toys for me. Seems unless an enterprising friend cares to make a strategic donation, something nondescript, can be moved by small vendors. Garnet, let's say 10 pieces. I can't trade money for money, but I'm generous with my gratitude. So I'm supposed to get garnets. Huh, I've been just selling all those garnets. Oh well. You know what? I don't care. I don't really like Kay either. Never mind. I'm out of here. Now you're turning down money opportunities, huh? Well, like I said, I'm not quite so desperate as I once was. All right. You know what? I like
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven. Welcome back. Is there something else you'd like to look at? Only the finest crafts, straight from Orzammar.
Rather buy information if you've got any to sell.
I'll answer what I can, but my policy is not to sell things that don't belong to me.
Well, let's see what's in your store.
Every piece comes with a stamp of assurance from my wife's father, the best smith in Denerim.
About that, is your wife's father named Wade? Let's
Does
see.
Wade make weapons or just armor? So maybe his wife is the best weaponsmith in Denerim.
Alright. Gorham, this is because I like you. Give these to your father-in-law. Drake scales make amazing armor. You can have them. Yep. Have them all. If I'm remembering correctly, these are the gloves I took off of Liliana. And we've all got... Oh no!
What?
Okay. Nobody tell anyone. Okay, I'm seriously not going to tell anyone, but those were gloves that he had given to Zevran. But they're so much worse than the gloves that he had on. He's not going to wear them. So we're going to pretend that Zevran is keeping those gloves nicely, but I'm not going to let them take up an inventory space. Okay, don't actually have much time.
But we killed Flemeth. And to be fair, she tried to kill you, Dirk, and turn into a dragon, so clearly she underestimated you.
Right. Honestly, I was expecting her to throw all sorts of spells at me, and... Good to see you again. A little more worried about that.
Maybe she figured that's what you'd be expecting.
I don't know. Did she expect to win?
Maybe she's playing a longer game. If she's still alive, somehow.
I don't know. I'm going to go lift some worry off Morgan's mind, I hope. Morgan. Got it.
Mother's real grimoire, is it?
Yes.
I am glad you were able to find it after all. My thanks for retrieving it. I shall begin studying it immediately and unlock the power that it holds.
You're
She
welcome.
didn't even ask.
By the way, did you know your mother could turn into a dragon? Never mind, actually. No, never mind. What are you doing? Checking if Zevran's armor is better than this. What else was I going to do? Oh, yes! One more thing. Sten! I have been resisting the urge to sell a Sala, and it's getting very difficult, so you know what? You are going to carry it from now on. We're going to make that your other weapon set. So it will not be in my inventory. Oh, check if Morgan wants the new robe.
What she looks like,
looks
really
like.
most important.
Is it? Are they good protection? That's what I'm wondering. Oh. Well, they take away 1 willpower, but they're a lot of defense.
I say go
A lot
for
of
it.
defense. Spell resistance? Well, they don't have... Okay. Alright, yeah, I think they offer more than the other ones. Those Arcana robes are nice, but let's see what these look like. Oh my. Right, fine by me. Alright, that'll do it.